Imagine you're at the mall, just walking along, and all of a sudden, you see a man collapse. You have no idea what to do, you're scared, and you're watching everybody else watching this man just lay there. According to the American Heart Association, many victims appear healthy with no apparent disease. Effective CPR provided immediately after sudden cardiac arrest can double and triple a victim's chance of survival. Only 32% of cardiac arrest victims get CPR from a bystander. Today, I'm going to inform you in 3 steps how to perform cardiopulmonary resuscitation, also known as CPR. The first step will be how to assess a scene and make sure you're safe. Step number 2 will be to show you how to get help. And the third step will actually be how to perform CPR. The first step, assessing the scene. You're at the mall. You would think there would be no obvious safety hazards, but you want to make sure that you're safe, or you want to make sure that you're not on an escalator, or the patient, the victim, isn't just somewhere where it could potentially cause you to be put in harm's way, and let alone the man that just fell down for no apparent reason. Other situations you'd look at is if you're walking on the sidewalk and let's say there's a construction worker working on something and he gets electrocuted and he falls to the ground. You may not have seen the electrocution, but if you see some open wires, that would be one of the things that you probably would not put yourself in a situation where you could hurt yourself and not be able to help this person. Step number 2, you would send someone to get help. You would shout, "Hey, call 911." Or if you weren't around, if there was nobody around, you would call 911 yourself. You don't want to be the one there by yourself with this person. So you call 911, you get the help, because the end goal is you do want someone with advanced care or advanced training to come help save this person. Step number 3, how to perform CPR. You want to make sure if you want to check if he's breathing or not. So what you would do is you would put your ear next to his nose and see if you hear for breathing. You don't want to do this no more than 5 seconds. Let's say you hear no breath. Next thing you want to do, you want to put your hands interlocking. One way I like to teach my students is use the nipple line all the way across, dead in the center, underneath the breastbone. You want to put your hands right over each other, interlocking just like this, and you want to push hard and fast. You want to go hard and fast, 30 compressions. 1 full compression is down and up, that is 1. And you want to do about 100 compressions per minute. The American Heart Association recommends thinking of the song "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees as a beat in your head that lets you know that is how you should be performing CPR. After you do the 30 compressions, you want to give 2 breaths. And how you do this is you tilt the head, you do the head tilt chin lift. So you want to put 1 head on the forehead and 2 fingers under the chin. You want to tilt the head back, and you want to put your mouth around the victim's mouth, and you want to give 2 breaths, and you want to give each breath 1 second apart. A good way to know if you're giving adequate breaths is you will see the chest rise. So after you give your first breath, you want to look and see if the chest rises. If the chest rises, that lets you know that you gave a good breath. You give your second breath. You look to see if the chest rises. Again, this will let you know if the breaths were adequate. If you happen to not see the chest rise, what you would do is you will put the head back into place. You will tilt the head back, once again using the head tilt chin lift. You put your head on the forehead, put the 2 fingers under the chin, and tilt the head back. and you will try again to administer the breaths. You will do this right after you do the breaths. You will go straight back into compressions, and you will do this until advanced care comes along. My conclusion: heart attacks happen at any given notice, and you'll never know when you'll actually have to give CPR on somebody. Hopefully it's never on a loved one, but according to the American Heart Association, it is likely that you will have to perform CPR on a loved one. Don't be afraid, your actions can only help. In conclusion, I have gone over how to assess a scene, how to send someone to get help, and how to perform CPR. I hope you found this speech very helpful, and I hope this encourages you to go and register for a class with the American Heart Association. So if you're ever in this situation, you can save a life.